VC, the Waxed here, and in this video, I went to a new record store. A new record store for me, not a new record store. I was hanging out with everyone's friend in the VC, Michael Pilmer. We went out to the Inland Empire. It's an area outside of LA to visit a record store, and he's gonna do a video on that. It's called Dr. Strange. It's an awesome record store. But when we were done there, we went to a record store that you probably heard the name. We went to Rhino Records. Now, you know Rhino Records because they're a reissue label for Warner Brothers, but they started out as a record store in Westwood, where UCLA is here in LA, in 1973, I think. And they started the reissuing from that store later on, and I'll put a link in the description on their story. But I know only that they opened another store in Claremont, that's in the Inland Empire, in '76. And I believe they might have opened another store in Hollywood, but I'm not 100% sure. If someone is, please let me know. I can't find it on the internet. But in 1981, a couple guys who worked at the Claremont store bought it from the original owner. So they've been an independent entity since then, since '81. It's still open today. The original Rhino in Westwood I've gone to before obviously when I first moved here, before I was seriously into collecting vinyl, and it closed in 2006. Sad day. But I got to go there, and it was they had a great used selection there, so I stocked up on stuff, and the prices were great. I understand they're moving coming up, I think, to Montclair, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But there's still going to be a record store, so it was cool to get the shirt. So what did I pick up? Well, I'm into jazz mostly, so I found a couple of mintier versions of records I had to replace. So I think this is a record people should own. This Keith Jarrett, the Cologne concert. I won't go into depth about the great story behind this, but it's a double album of just him improvising on a piano, and highly recommend it. The story behind it is just as great as the album. He had a fever when he landed. He showed up, the piano was broken, and he went on to play this most amazing concert. So look it up, listen to it, great. Highly recommend it on ECM. And I'm always collecting the twofers, but I love collecting these Blue Note reissue series from the mid-'70s. These are twofers, 2 albums, and they're usually made up of albums that were never released. They were shelved. And I don't have any Cecil Taylor, so I'm interested in getting into them. And not a better way to get into them than adding another album to my collection of Blue Note reissue series. So there you go. And I picked up a couple jazz comps. These Definitive Jazz Scene Volume 1 on Impulse. This was when ABC had Impulse. And this particular one, you could see everyone who's on here: Count Basie, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington. These are in minty shape, and not too expensive. Nice gatefold here, not like the old cool Impulse covers. But there's the inside of everyone who's on there: McCoy Tyner, Ben Webster, Mingus, and they sound really nice. Sound nice. So it's nice to have a comp of that. And they had Volume 3. Well, I'll show you the right side. Volume 3, which is, I'm going to compare these two. This is outstanding. They didn't have Volume 2, so I'll have to be on the hunt for it. And this Volume 3 is more in line with the classic Impulse jackets. Nice, heavier, thicker spine. And this one is more, capturing a great period of these impulses. Got Archie Shepp on here and Coltrane and McCoy Tyner. I love Chico Hamilton that is on here. So I don't know how many volumes it came out with, but obviously at least 3, and I do not have volume 2. So awesome. I was able to find another Blue Note reissue series when they came out with these very colorful covers. They're very similar, all these, and this is a Chick Corea. These, I believe, are not shelved records that have never been out before. These are just comps of their work, you know, on the Blue Note label. And Chick Corea is great. And I know Now He Sings, Now He Sobs. I have the tone poet of that. There's some selections on here of that, but you know, nice. And this, I think these tend to not be so expensive, these versions, as opposed to the reissue series. So, but they're crawling up in price. So, next one, and last but not least, not a jazz title, The Kink Chronicles. This is a great, you know, best of this is on the Reprise label. And I believe the reason this came out is the Kinks owed the record company another album, and they put this comp out. And it got on my radar, I think 2 or 3 record store days ago. They put out a record store today, a reissue of this, and I missed out. My store didn't really get any copies of it. And this is a minty copy replacing kind of the VG Plus one I have. So very, very highly recommend getting this, especially if you're not a huge Kinks fan. This just has a lot of their great songs on here, a double album. Highly recommend that. So it was great, feeling like I've gone back in history to visit this you know, Rhino record store. The location they are now, but they're moving, is this nice little old town of Claremont. It's a nice area in the Inland Empire. If you're ever in LA, drive out there. It's a bit of a drive, but you'll be well worth it. You could go visit Dr. Strange like we did. There's several record stores out there, so would be a nice full day of hunting down what you're looking for. If you have been to the store or the old Rhino and that was in Westwood, leave some comments. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and hang around, because I'm gonna show you some footage from the store. And until next time, the Waxed Out.